What's going on, everybody? Welcome to BucosLocker, Locker Room Talk with your host, Isaiah, coming to you again. Subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share all the videos. Don't forget to hit the notification bell icon, notifying all new videos that's posted on the channel. Shouts out to all the Pirates and Sea Bandits. Keep supporting the channel. You know what I'm saying? Donations are welcome. Super chats, super thanks. The links are in the description box. So, it is what it is. Give everybody a few minutes to come on in the chat room. We got some things to talk about. Happy Thursday. One more day, the week will be over with. I believe tomorrow's payday for me. Another video number 3 for the week. I told you, more video. I'm telling you, it's going to get to the point I'm dropping pretty much a video every day almost. It's almost getting there. I'm working myself, getting myself back in football shape. Video shape. Be doing 3-4 videos, maybe 5 videos at a time. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Young Deezy? Kobe, Brent, Styles. What to do, what the business is. Street. Got my Rengoku. Damn, a Demon Slayer fan, so it's my friend here. Nezuko, Rengoku. It's my guy. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully everybody having a good day. I had a good day. I did go out to the Saints practice today this morning. I woke up this morning. I went out there doing a little scouting, a little survey, and a little information gathering. But there's a couple things I want to talk about. We'll get to that. Wasn't really much going on out there, but we'll get to that. That's not important. It's getting there, ain't it? Yeah. My daughter don't like it. My daughter don't like my hair. She was like, "Oh, Isaiah, you need to cut." Well, she said, "Daddy, you need to cut it." She liked me with my short hair. And I told her I'll cut it eventually. I ain't cutting no time soon. I told her I'll cut it down the road. But she's like, she like it, but then she don't like. I don't know what. My daughter funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, she funny. I don't know. But she's back with her mom. But Damien, what up? DSG Carlos, what's up, man? Vic Boy, Pain Music. Appreciate it, man. Hey, you ain't seen that yet this year. Wait, this year gonna be even more funnier. Wait till you see Walking the Plank on Mondays. The live stream gonna be even more fun. Yeah, a lot more interaction. I might even watch some live streams with some of the Pirates and Sea Bandits. I would like to watch some of the live stream with the actual other team fan base. The team that the opponent that we playing that week. I would like to bring 1 or 2 of their guys, or their one, or ladies, or they're one or two of their fan bases onto the live stream with me. I think that'll be dope. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't gonna give y'all too much information. Yeah, I seen the new Black Panther trailer. Yeah, I seen it. So where should I start at? I can start with the Tom Brady information. I can start with day 2 of the joint practice between the Bucs and Dolphins. I can start with this morning when I went out to go do some scouting. I can start with Gage injury. I can start with a lot of. What should I start with? I'll leave that up to y'all. What should I start with today? What should I start with today? What up, Bucs Life 954? Buckles, you didn't watch mine. Yes, I saw a little. I didn't get a chance to catch everything because I was working too. And I was working, and I woke up this morning. I went out to the practice this morning to do some research. And I came back home. I got to work, and so I didn't really catch everything. But I just caught every. I pretty much watched the videos of the joint practices. I heard about Brady news. You know what I'm saying? Russell Gage situation. You know what I'm saying? So I think I'm gonna start with the joint practices. You know what I'm saying? I think I'm gonna start with the joint practice. Oh, CD Lamb out there, Broncos and Cowboys had a joint practice. CD Lamb was cooking. It's like these guys getting destroyed out there in these joint practices, especially 1-on-1. But anyway, let me ask y'all a question here. Do any of you Power and C Bandits do any of you remember of my Powers and C Bandits or any Bucs fans remember what is the weakest area in the Bucs team? Do anybody remember that? Do anybody remember when it comes to the Bucs team, the players, the position areas? What did I tell y'all the weakest part of our team? If I had to rank it from the weakest to the strongest part, what was number one area that I said the Bucs are the weakest in? Does anybody remember that? Somebody? Oh, okay. We got a couple of answers. Okay, here we go. We cooking now. Now we got some participation. We got some participation from the Powers and C Bands. Couple good answers already. So for those of you that don't that video, go back and watch it. But I'm gonna tell you anyway. It was about, I think it was not last week, was it? The week before, whatever. Pass defense. What did I tell y'all? And make sure you like the video. We got the chat room getting crowded. Make likes matches up with the amount of people in the chat room. The Google algorithm. Pass defense. Secondary was number one. Because we had a discussion about that. About the pass rush and the secondary working hand in hand. But I said pass defense is an issue. The number one issue. I'm not even going to use secondary anymore. I could, but just to say pass defense sounds a whole lot more NFL talk. So today, and I just got done watching these videos and looking at the reporters from the Dolphins outlet, Bucs outlet, and even just in a general NFL outlet reporters that was out there that was not that don't cover the Dolphins or the Bucs regular. There were some NFL reporters out there that just was out there just to watch. Plus with the Brady situation, the Brady news. So there was a lot more eyes out there today. Get some questions, do some journalism, get some news and create a story. And we'll get to that in a little bit. But overall, the Dolphins, according to pretty much everybody, the Dolphins won day 2 as a whole. They look more crispier. They look more, focused. They did a lot more than the Bucs. Granted, it's just preseason. It's just joint practice. It does give you a little insight on what's going on and how we progressing as a team. Both teams really. And that's what joint practice is. So I'm not going to overreact, but I am also not surprised from what I heard today about the Bucs secondary. If anybody is surprised about what you've heard or what you saw on the videos, you clearly haven't been paying attention to the Bucs secondary. That's why you don't see me really like, oh man, they tried. I'm not overreacting because I already know what we pretty much got at this point. Can things get better? Yes. But at this point, based on the data that I have, that I've looked at, and the games that I watched the last couple years, I know what the Bucs secondary looked like in my opinion. So I'm not surprised on the reports today that the DBs in particular didn't look good. And yes, it's Tyreek Hill and Waddle, but it was just not them. Anytime you start to hear people call Tua Tagovailoa Chef Tua. When you got the word chef in front of your first name, that means you were cooking. When the last time you seen the word chef in front of Tua? They had that boy out there looking like an all-pro. The Bucs secondary had Tua, allowed Tua to look like he's really like that. And he's really not. The fact that they had to change the offense so he can throw the ball 0 to 7 yards to look good. Him pushing the ball down the field is not his strength. He's a West Coast guy, short area, short pass type person. He will look good. He won't make the receivers look good. The receivers gonna make him look good. So I didn't get caught up in the media and Chef Tua and all that. But based on what I know about Jaden Waddle and Tyreek Hill and the other, they make him look good. Just like at Alabama, when they had Waddle and Smith and Judy. Did you really think Tua Tagovailoa made them boys look good? Did you really believe that? Najee Harris. Did you really believe that Tua had them boys looking good, or it was the other way around? So when I seen the reports today and I saw the videos, that was yak. They caught the ball. It wasn't no bombs or nothing like that. It was a yak. That's just like Deebo Samuels making Jimmy G look good. Does anybody think Jimmy G made Deebo Samuels? Don't worry, I'll wait. Tyreek and Jaden Waddle make Tua Tagovailoa look better than what he really is. Same thing in Alabama. That is the reason why Tua Tagovailoa got drafted high. But then the minute you saw that man on the field without those guys, he don't make nobody look better. He don't make anybody better. You get what I'm saying? He's not the type of quarterback that can take undrafted free agents or late round picks and make them look good. He got to have everything perfect for him to look good. That makes sense. He's got to have the creme de la creme receivers. He's got to have the creme de la creme line. You know, everything got to be perfect for Tua Tagovailoa, because if anything is not perfect with that quarterback, with him, he's going to look really bad. And the numbers show that. The last 2 years, qualified quarterbacks, he's at the bottom of a lot of stuff. Passes over 20 yards, QBR. Don't get caught up in what we saw today. Now, granted, the much of the credit goes to the receivers that he was throwing to, two in particular. Now, Mike Gesicki had a couple of plays that he looked good, but overall, the Dolphins did win the day based on the reports that I've read and the film that I watched. I wasn't out there, but there were some clips. There's a lot of clips out there. Didn't look good for the secondary, specifically Carl Davis and Jamel Dean, our starters. Now, granted, it was 7-on-7s, but even they did good in 11-on-11s. Now, there was a bright spot out there. Devin White was doing his thing with the pass coverage. So it wasn't all bad defensively. Devin White did his thing. Leonard Fournette did his thing a little bit, catching the ball, but wasn't much to really talk about. And plus, the Bucs had some guys out. Russell Gage with the hamstring. He day-to-day. They're not rushing him back. Of course, Mike Evans, hamstring. He probably won't play for the whole preseason. You know, Brady gone for a couple weeks, a week and a half, whatever. Pre-planned break. I think Kevin Brake had a vet day off. Julio Jones had a vet day off. You know, Godwin didn't play. So it was hard for the Bucs offensively to look good. But that's not my concern. My concern is the Bucs pass defense. They don't have the elite athleticism. At this point, Carlton Davis is basically a poor man's Josh Norman, Richard Sherman. at this point. Now, can he get better? I don't see him getting extremely better. What you see with Carlton Davis is what you're going to get. Maybe a little room for growth, but we've seen enough. All of a sudden, he's not going to become this prime Richard Sherman. At best, Josh Norman, and that was just for a short period of time. And then Josh Norman fell off the face of the earth because his athleticism went away. Now, Josh Norman do have better ball skills than Carlton Davis and also Richard Sherman. But that's the best that you can get out of Carlton Davis, and it won't be at their level. Because for a minute, Josh Norman was a problem, but he got exposed against fast receivers, and he always had help. And what did I tell y'all about Carlton Davis? They better put his safety over the top on his side against receivers like today. The Jamar Chases, the Waddle, the Hill, CeeDee Lamb. He can't guard those guys. They too quick. Too quick. They have so much acceleration and burst out of their turns. I was watching the video and I had to watch it a few times, looking at Carlton Davis' technique. That's just what it is for him. He don't have elite hip or change of direction. Now, straight line, he's a strider. He can run with you because he builds speed. But teams already know enough about Carlton Davis and how to attack him. In breaking routes, cut routes, break off routes, an occasional deep ball. But he can't change directions that good. We saw it today. If you saw the videos. The boy, like he's running in quicksand. Dog, at the top out, did you see the separation? It was so bad, Carlton Davis gave up. He didn't even try. You want to finish the play, try to tackle him. Effort, right? Carlton Davis, when the top of the break on those routes, when that ball caught, Carlton Davis decelerated. He gave up, which is a bad sign. And don't get me wrong, he's trying, but he has a limited skill set. He has below average quickness, below average speed at that position. And in today's NFL, that is not the cornerback that you want to have out there as a number one. And people was making jokes, and I understood the jokes, but I thought it was kind of harsh. But from a football respect, I had to remove my feelings. In today's NFL, what do you need to have out there in the corners? Elite speed, ball skills. You can't have a bunch of guys that are just average, because you're going to get exposed against teams that can pass the ball, which explains for the last several years that we can go all the way back to 2009. Go look at the Bucs pass defense rankings from 2009 all the way until last year. Go look at the Bucs pass defense rankings. The amount of big plays, 20 plus yards, 40 plus yards, third down conversion percentage, completion percentage, it's all bottom 10. And I don't know what the Bucs, it's the same situation with the Bucs when it comes to the quarterback. They don't know how to develop a quarterback. And in the secondary, we've always had this problem with the secondary. Outside of Talib, in recent history, dating back to 2009. I mean, I know about Rondé Barber and Donnie Abram. You know what I'm saying? Dexter Jackson, even Tanard Jackson. I get it. I'm just saying the corner. We really can't hang our hat on that as a fan base. We can't jump into an argument unless we reach all the way back to Rondé Barber. Oh yeah, Darrell Reeves, but I don't count him as a Buck. Brent Grimes, but that was the back end of his career. Darrelle Reeves was a rental. Nobody talks about Darrelle Reeves no more in Tampa in the fan base. We have to reach all the way back to Rondé Barber to get into a conversation about cornerbacks. And then even and Rondé Barber ended up moving over to the slot as his career moved forward. But the early Rondé Barber was really good too as a corner. But we got to go all the way back to him to have a say so in a conversation about cornerbacks. Why can't the Bucs draft and develop the creme de la creme cornerback? Top 10 corner. Why we're never mentioned, none of our cornerbacks are never mentioned that high. All we've had is a bunch of average to below average cornerbacks outside of Rondé Barber, Donnie Abram, Darrelle Reeves, Brent Grimes. Kelly was good. Talib. Not much to say. So watching those videos today and watching Carlton Davis and even Jamel Dean, as fast as Jamel Dean is straight line, can't turn his hips. Can't turn and run going sideways. Neither one of them. I'm not tripping. I'm just giving y'all what y'all already know. Nobody should be surprised with the videos and the reports coming from joint practice day about the secondary. Don't get me wrong, it wasn't all bad, but it wasn't that much good to talk about. Now, Carlton Davis did have a couple of breakups. Good. But in the overall perspective of the joint practice, he was getting laughed at. You can hear the people on the sideline. This is a little bit of foreshadowing I'm giving y'all. So what I'm getting y'all prepared mentally and emotionally. Don't get mad when we play top level passing attacks when we don't make stops. Don't be prepared mentally and emotionally to not have explosions. Like in the middle of the game, yeah, I'm gonna react because you're gonna get my reaction, but I'm not gonna be like, because I already know what to expect based on what I've seen the last couple of years with Carlton Davis and Jamel Dean and Murphy Bunting. The only one that I consider high level that I'd be like, yeah, is Antoine Winfield Jr. Now, Carlton Davis can change the narrative, or he can change the outcome of this, of my thought process, because he can make this big jump. He can. Murphy Bunting, Jamel. But as of right now, Antoine Winfield Jr. is only Logan Ryan. I'm just saying, like, as far as Buck cornerbacks or Buck people that's draft. Keanu Neal, he is who he is, right? I'm talking about the guys that were drafted and developed by the Bucs. Antoine Winfield Jr. is the only one that I can use in an argument when it comes to the secondary. That I can say he's not getting the respect that he needs. He's getting overlooked. He's underrated. People sleeping on Antoine Winfield Jr. You know, when they talk about the safeties. Now he's about to play a lot of slots. So, you know, I got an argument there. I can make an argument with Antoine Winfield Jr. I can't go into an argument about cornerbacks with Jamel Dean and Murphy Bunting and Carl Davis. I'm going to get laughed at. That's why I don't participate in those when they talk cornerbacks in NFL circles and those discussion topics about the cornerbacks and top level and all that. I have no dog in that fight. I can't bring Carl Davis into a conversation like that. And that's our number one guy. Is he a really bad cornerback? No. No, he's not a bad cornerback. Remember, there's 32 teams. That's 64 cornerbacks. That's RB1. I mean RB1 CB2. Now if you add that makes it 96. If you add the slot guy. So let's just keep it 64 cornerbacks. CB1 CB2. Where do you put Carl Davis at? Is he more of a 2 versus a 1? Because when you're cornerback number 1, you the dog. And like I said, he's not bad, but he ain't close to the top. And I'm not hating on Carl Davis. It's just the reality of it. And I hope y'all understand where I'm coming from, because we've all had our frustrations with the secondary, but when it happens over and over and over again, and then you start to see it in practice, and because remember, Carl Davis goes up. He goes up against he went up against I'm about to say Vince Jackson, RH, but Mike Evans, Godwin. He's going against Julio Jones, and Gage, and all that, but when you see him against other receivers, and when you look at the schedule, the passing attacks that we got to play against, or they got to play against, I'm just hoping the Bucs can bend, don't break, which means that they're going to give up some yards. So what this joint practice is telling y'all today's joint practice is telling y'all that the Bucs secondary is going to give up some yards. There was one play on 11-on-11. You can go back and watch it yourself. Carl Davis, I don't know if he was like playing the slot or if he was like short side of the field. He was guarding Waddle. When Waddle had that kind of like that post touchdown, he double caught, and Mike Edwards hit him, but he caught it the first time, and Mike Edwards hit him, and the ball popped out a little bit, and he caught it again. That play design was awkward because they sent Carlton Davis on a blitz and didn't get there. What did I tell you about Todd Bowles' defenses? If you can block the blitz, barbecue chicken for the secondary. That's my concern. And as I was watching those videos and watching the replays of those videos, watching the discussion points about our secondary, and you wonder why the secondary don't get no respect around the NFL. Now the analysts and the reporters, there was, Bucs got a top 5 secondary. What's his name? Mike Renner. I don't know if he was PFF or Football America. Had the Bucs secondary number 1. And what world is the Bucs secondary number 1? And I'm a Bucs fan all day. Bucs secondary number 1? Bruh. Where did that come from? What? Based on what? Remember, I'm talking to y'all with the calmness of think about the football aspect. I don't speak for everybody, but I can kind of an idea, and I'm gonna keep this at a minimal number. I would say at least 50% of the fan base don't think top 5. I mean, there's also some think we do, but no. So I just want to give y'all giving y'all some insight on what what I'm looking at. And we might look at something different, and that's fine. But I'm just giving y'all what I look what I'm seeing, and what I know about our secondary. So I'm not surprised that they look like that. And then when I look at the schedule, if we don't get home, and the pass rush does play a huge role in this of how they look, because if the ball coming out quick and the secondary react in that defense, that's great. But what happens if they don't get to the quarterback? If they don't, Oh yeah, Damon, I do know that. Yeah, he's what, number one in pass breakups, but the volume, that's like a really good secondary getting 700 pass attempts versus a bad secondary getting 1,000 passing attempts. He's going to have more opportunities to break up pass plays, but look at the volume though that people are throwing at him. Look at that part. See, you can look at the service number and say he's number one in pass breakups, but that doesn't equate him being a top cornerback. Not even close. Because the volume of attempts being thrown his way, the volume of attempts that teams throw at the Bucs secondary. Remember I told y'all, why run the ball or why go at a team's strength when you can go at the weakness? And the Bucs' weakness is secondary. So teams are going to throw the ball way more than run the ball. So the pass breakups is fine. But when you look at the attempts that the secondary is getting thrown at, and then you also got to look at the third down conversion rate. There's a lot of other things you got to look at. You just can't look at pass breakups, which is a good indicator, but you got to also put more context into that, because Jamel Dean, Carden, all these pass breakers, but they're still not even in the middle of the pack. You get what I'm saying? So that is a good thing for Carl Davis to have a lot of pass breakups, but also that means that people throwing him a lot too. Because Ramsey, Jari Alexander and they don't have that many pass breakers, but because quarterbacks don't really like that. That's not pass breakups is not the indicator of he top level. That means teams love throwing the ball at your secondary. Now, if the Bucs secondary was solid, if they was like, not just pass breakers, they was like getting interceptions and covering, all that makes sense. But just saying, he's top number one in pass breakups, and then that you're not even going to add anything up to that. You get what I'm saying? And then when you watch the video, what does your eyes tell you? Because if that's the case, name will be mentioned all the time, top 10. It's so bad. I done seen cornerback rankings where they had the younger guys above Carlton Davis. The J.C. Horns, the Patrick Surtains, the Asante Samuel Juniors. Above Carlton Davis. I've seen some rankings like that. I've seen one ranking, they went all the way down to 15. He wasn't even mentioned. I hope Carlton Davis can take another step. But like I said, man, he's in that Richard Sherman, Josh Norman mold. He's right up in there. And also, let's not get it twisted. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle is a very hard cover for any cornerback. Them boys is fast, and they are very twitchy. They're going to cause a lot of problems for secondaries. It's not just the Bucs secondary. So, yeah, it looked bad on us as a fan base because our guys getting toasted. But a lot of you other fan bases, your secondary gonna get toasted too. Well, it's gonna be more Yak versus Tua making the type of throws. Tua just gonna check the ball down, a little screen pass, a little 5-yard in route, and they running. Watch how many Yak yards Waddle and Hill have. Because Mike McDaniels, Debo Samuels, Why I want y'all to pay attention to them Yak yards in Miami. They're gonna have a ton of Yak. I think I would say probably about 70% of their receiving yards are gonna be Yak. So it's not as bad as y'all think it is, because we already know what the Bucs secondary is, but Hill is damn near unguardable. You seen the one route he ran on Jamel Dean? That could be any cornerback. So it's not a complete shame, or you can't be laughing at Jamel Dean or Carlton Davis, but you already know what you got with them at this point. Can they improve? Yes. But you get what I'm saying? You shouldn't be like, they trash, or they are. No, you already know this. What you saw today, you've seen before the last 3 years. All I'm doing is just reporting what I saw, what I read. A lot of cornerbacks gonna look silly against them dudes. So don't get too down on them, but be realistic about our secondary. I told y'all this. Be realistic about our secondary. As long as you're realistic and understand what our secondary is at this point. Now, granted, we can get, like I said, we can get better. Logan, Ken O'Neal, Winfield Jr. moving to the slot, Murphy Bunting moving to the outside. So we don't know this new look all the way. But when it comes to the player itself, because the scheme can cover up deficiencies with Carlton Davis and Jamel Dean and Murphy Bunting, right? And Mike Edwards, it can cover up those deficiencies. But as a player standpoint, individual standpoint, the boys be struggling against real fast receivers. And they'll make some plays, some pass defenses, but then those big completions on third down, big moments, they give up too many of those. 3rd and 12, 14-yard completion. Like, you know what I'm saying? So don't get too down on him. Because I'm not down on Carlton Davis. Like I said, he's not a bad cornerback. Jamel Dean's not bad. Average. You know what I'm saying? Like, average. And average is not bad. You still pass. Can Carlton Davis go to a B plus? Sure, he can go to an A minus if he gets to that Josh Norman level. Because he sure ain't finna be no Ramsey. He sure ain't finna be no Jaire Alexander or no Patrick Surtain or J.C. Horn or no Lattimore. Or no Xavier Howard. Or no Darius Slade. Or no Tre'Davion White. Or Julian Johnson from Chicago, the Chicago cornerback. Even do. No can do. Or no Prime James Brad. Or no J.C. Jackson. Not Carl Davis. No. Not right now. We just got to hope that he can get to the Josh Norman, Richard Sherman level. Or close to it. Just get close to that. We're going to see what happens in the regular season with Carl Davis and Jamel Dean and Murphy Bunting. Not worried about Winfield Jr. Mike Edwards, we're going to see how he rolls. And Mike Edwards to the ball. I know about Logan Ryan. He's going to be there where he need to be there. And Ken O'Neal going to be solid as long as you don't put him in space against a twitchy running back. But like I said, overall, secondary is not bad. Overall, secondary is solid. That's right. They don't have that. They don't like Carl Davis. Carl Davis want to make he want to make the next step. He want to become that. I wanted to mention with those guys, but you gotta put it on film. You gotta put it on tape. You gotta put it out there on the field. Until then, Carl Davis, you on the other side of the fence, looking like I want to play. Nah, baby, this is for the top quarterbacks, baby. Carl Davis not tier 1, not even tier 2. So he worked, dude. Still young enough to improve, you know what I mean? But he, like I said, he's in that. I'm talking about our number 1 cornerback. He's in that Josh Norman, Richard Sherman, Bradbury category of cornerbacks. Long, lanky, not known for their speed. They're known for their physicality. You know what I'm saying? Their length. Typically, those cornerbacks don't age well because when you're out there, you got to still be fast, right? So it wouldn't be surprised at some point down the road when he gets older, his athleticism kind of drop off. Because if his athleticism at his peak right now, if he drop off a little bit, it's gonna get really bad. You got to move him to safety. Can't move him to the slot because he ain't quick enough. If he loses any athleticism where he at right now, it's going to get bad, and he's already average. On the cusp of, because he can go one or two ways. He can go to above average cornerback, not elite, but above average, which is good, which is really good for him and his skill set. Or he can go from average to below average, or stay in that range, average below average. Jamel Dean too. Murphy Button too. Y'all got potential, but at some point you gotta get to that point because these young guys, Sauce Gardner, Derek Stingley Jr., I wouldn't be surprised those guys are already better than Duffy. I think he went to Kansas City. Don't Kyler Gordon, the Washington cornerback. McDuffie and Kyler Gordon, both of them went to Washington. Washington be producing some secondary players too, low key. Got some talent going on out there. I'm driving some Washington guys, but don't be surprised these young rookie cornerbacks already better than what we got, which are basically you can say veterans, mid-level veterans. Murphy Bunn, Jamel Dean, and Carl Davis. Those rookies might be already better than those dudes because I already know Asante Samuel Jr. I'll take him any day over what we got. I'll take J.C. Horn and Patrick Surtain over any what we got right now. And the jury's out on Sauce Gardner and Derek Stingley Jr. and McDuffie and Kyler Gordon. Paulson Abadibo, he looks good. His second year jump is huge. I was out there today, and I'll get to that in a second. I like receiver, and my second position was cornerback. I know what I see. AJ Terrell, we ain't got that. You know what I'm saying? These are young guys. These are young cornerbacks I'm naming. I'm not even really naming the older guys. I'm naming the guys that's under 3 years, basically. Jari Alexander. What, 3-4 years? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. Fingers crossed, though. I'm pulling for them, though. I'm pulling for them. I really want them to do good. But I got to understand my expectations has got to be even killed. I can't go into the season with high expectations for the secondary. I can't do it. Can't. Until they show me otherwise. And the schedule the one thing about this schedule, it's going to show what we got in the secondary officially for moving forward. After this season, we're going to know exactly what we got in the secondary. Do we got a draft guy next year? Because Murphy Bunn and Jamel Dean, Mike Edwards, all up for contract. We might have to drive some guys next year. Come on, man. I'm already looking. Yeah, Byron Murphy's solid too. Yeah, Byron Murphy's solid. Marcus Jones. Anyway, so let's talk about this Tom Brady situation. I don't think it's a big deal, to be honest with you. They listen to Todd Bowles. Todd Bowles said it was a pre-planned situation. I wouldn't be surprised if we have 2 or 3 guys next year in the secondary because we can't pay Murphy Bunn and Jamel Dean a bunch of money. Can't do it. We already know that. You know what I'm saying? So I'm expecting at least 1 new starter next year. Maybe 2. We'll see. But yeah, the Tom Brady situation, I've seen people make about that. I don't think it's a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal. Is it a little awkward that he don't play against Dolphins? He was at the joint practice and he did what he did the first day, first couple of days, whatever, and then he takes the rest of the week off, and he don't want to. I don't know. They said it's personal. But I can understand why people would, you know, intertwine the Dolphins joint practice and the time, you know, that situation with him having a little dialogue about being an owner or executive or something like that, or director of operation, whatever he was talking to the Dolphins about. So yes, that can get a little awkward and a little gray. Uh, against a team that you possibly might be owning or have some type of power in it. So him taking a step back, because the media was asking about it. Soon as they started doing the joint, they weren't even really worried about it. So this situation, but that I just saw some people talking about that. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I don't think it's a big deal. Tom will be fine. He's a veteran. Even Todd Bowles said it. He said, if it was anybody else, yeah, I would be a little concerned, but I'm paraphrasing. But being that Tom Brady, and he's been in the game 20 plus years, you know what I'm saying? It's not really to be something to be like, oh my gosh, he's gonna retire. You know what I'm saying? He expects him to be there for week 1. And don't be surprised, we don't see Tom Brady until week 1. You know what I'm saying? Don't be surprised. We're not gonna see him this Saturday. Don't be surprised we don't see him next week at all. And the Titans joint practice. And you know, Titans is a grimy team. Kevin Bernard. They got that, Jeffrey Simmons, that monster of a D tackle, young D tackle. They got Tennessee is a grimy team. They tough. You know what I'm saying? Like they after they coach. And Brady's pretty much not gonna be doing the joint practices with them either. And probably ain't gonna play that game. Then you got the pregame. Is he gonna really dress up for that after sitting out for a week and a half or two? So there's a possibility, not a it's a possibility. Probability versus possibility. There's a possibility that we might not see Brady until week 1 against the Cowboys or the Cowgirls. I ain't tripping on it as long as he's there for week 1. Now, if it was Kyle Trask, I'd be like, oh man, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Um, but we're gonna see. I'm not gonna spend too much time on it because I don't think it's a big story. That people, I don't think it's big as people think it is. I think it's just, and then the fact that it was already pre-planned, it makes it even better for me. Now, if this was just abruptly, I need some time off for personal reasons, then I'd be like, oh, what's going on, right? But the fact that Todd Bowles was like, this was already pre-planned, we talked about it already. It's nothing to really be tripping about. And ain't this around the time kids go back to school? And has anybody thought about that? Because I know in Florida, they back in school. I know school started in Florida, in my area, where I'm from. You heard me? You hear me? So him taking a break around this time, maybe trying to get his kids, get his kids together for school. Because here in the South, school starts back now, pretty much, right? Well, next week, you know what I'm saying? Some areas next week, whatever. And I don't know Tom personally. I don't know what his personal bit. I don't follow his personal life like that. Not interested. But I don't know where his kids at. I don't know where his kids go to school at. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? Does his kids stay, go to school in New England? Do they go to school in Miami? Do they go to school in Tampa? Are they getting homeschooled? I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, man, I think we'll be fine. What else? Frank Jansen was out there again today with what did he had a cast or something like that, brace cast. Um, yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's personal, whatever. I wish whatever's personal that's going on in his life, whether it's a medical situation with his folks or getting his kids ready for school, whatever. Take care of it, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta respect people's privacy too, man. You know, respect privacy, man. I always respect. They're not just entertainers, folks. You know, they're not just NFL players. These are human beings too. And they have personal stuff too. We all have personal issues. We all have personal things that happen in our lives that we got to take care of. That we got to take time out of work to take care of. So let's not jump to conclusions with Tom Brady. You know, I mean when I was working, I had some medical issues I had to take care of. I had to take leave from work to take care of it. You know what I'm saying? So now let's talk about this having this Russell Gage situation. They say it's a hamstring, day to day. We're not seeing him Saturday. Might not see him next week. Just like Mike Evans. So I don't know if he's gonna play Saturday. That'd be nice to see him out to get some reps, but we don't want to hurt either. You know. But this is good though. It's not saying it's good for general, but it's good for our younger guys to get snaps. The Cyrus Graysons, the Tyler Johnsons, the Scott White, Darden, Devin Tompkins. You know what I'm saying? Bug. These guys can get a lot of reps, and we get to see who gonna fight it out for them last 2 spots. I got a feeling the Bucs only gonna keep 6 receivers, and we know the first 4. So you got a bunch of guys fighting for 2 positions. I don't say a bunch, but a lot of guys, Perriman included, fighting for 2 positions. And those 2 positions, you got to play special teams. You know what I'm saying? So that's gonna be a fun battle. But hopefully Russell Gage, get well. Mike Evans, man, what's up? Holla at me, man. What's going on with that handy, man? You good? Godwin, man, easily. O-line situation, like I said, Jansen, he's out there, chilling. The left guard situation still up in the air. Haven't heard too much about it. I'm hearing things, I'm reading things about it, but I think that's still up in the air. Stenny, Luka Decky. Hainsley is, he's doing his thing. As of right now, folks, they ain't looking. They're not signing J.C. Treader no time soon. And I was looking at a thread about him. They was like his mobility decreased. He don't have the movement like he used to, and he wants too much money because he's an older guy. He want to cash out one more time. And because if that was the case, teams would have picked him up easily. So remember, a player like that at that level, at that position, still good to a degree, right? Nobody picked him up yet. Yellow flag. That means a couple things. Something with the injury and his athleticism and his production, the scheme fit, and money. I think is a combination of all 3 with J.C. Treader. I think what he's asking for, teams are like, nah, fam. Like, you was good a few years ago, but what you're asking for now, you're asking for a top 5 center pay. And your mobility, and you small, and you got to run a certain scheme with you at center. Because you came from Cleveland. That was your last stop. So Cleveland was a power running team. For you to go from a power running team to a zone team at that age, at that stage of your career, center, and with your mobility decreased, your athleticism decreased, and you want top level, top center money. Like I said, it's a combination of things on why teams ain't signed him yet. And I'm trying to hold cap space too, just in case injuries happen, things happen. You got to have some room to wiggle, which explains why Mike Greenberg and Light haven't jumped the gun to go sign him, because they looking at it from a team stand. Got to keep the cap space that we have available. Stability. We can't take space and put it out when our starting center is hurt right now, and we don't have a full diagnostic. We don't want to put him on IR because he might be able to come back in November, December. So how does that sound? How does that look if the Bucs sign J.C. Treader $6-7 million, and then Ryan Jensen come back. Now what you gonna do? And you paying Ryan Jensen way more than JC Tretter. So as of right now, folks, it's Hainsley's job. Whether you want him there or not, he ain't going nowhere. The coaching staff told you that. You can cry, you can stomp, you can throw dirt at the wall. You can throw monkey crap at the wall. The Bucs ain't signing JC Tretter right now, when they still waiting on the situation with Ryan Jensen to clear up. And he might be back most likely, at the end of the season. You sure don't want to sign JC Tretter to a lot of money, which he probably wants. And then Ryan Jensen come back. And let's just say, hypothetically speaking, a scenario thing, JC Tretter playing good, and you pay him a lot of money, $5, $6, $7 million, and then Ryan Jensen comes back in December or November. Was you gonna move Tretter to guard, or you gonna move Ryan Jensen to guard? Okay. Come on, folks, you gotta think about it. So Mike Greenberg and Jason, they're doing the right thing. They're doing the right thing, not overreacting. They want to see what the Ryan Jensen situation is about, but you don't go out there and spend that much money when you're trying to have some flexibility. Because if they do need to sign him, they got the room to do it, right? They got the room they know that. See? Well, somebody was in one of the one of the threads, Michael Alexander. I read something like that in a thread on Twitter, and they was talking about JC Tretter, and that was the mobility. His legs. When you say mobility, that means your movement in your legs, basically. Came from a power blocking scheme. They ran him to the ground. Told y'all, at first I was like, yeah, JC Tretter, but then you when you start looking at why they ain't signed him yet, and then you start looking at the whole thing, oh, I see why they ain't signed him yet. It's a multitude of things. Age, scheme fit, the money he wants. Can he play in our scheme? Can he get caught up to speed? It's almost too late now. Even what you gonna bring him on now? If they was gonna bring him on, they need to bring him on now. How about that? Catch me outside. So, because the more time goes past, the least chances that they're gonna sign him. And as of right now, the chances of them signing JC Tretter is not high. Possibility, probability. Yeah, the possibility of signing JC Tretter is there, but the probability right now is low. Sail low. But in all, man, the Bucs got some work to do. It's preseason. The game Saturday. We're gonna live stream it. We're gonna watch it together. We're gonna do what it do, baby. We're gonna have some fun watching the game. We get to watch our young guys do their thing, man. Because they've been doing good practices, man. Team practices and joint practice. So looking forward for Rashad White, our young receivers, Tryon and Logan Hall. You know what I'm saying? The young guys get out there and do what they do. The Cam Gills, the Grant Stewart. You know what I'm saying? The McCullum. You know what I'm saying? The Luke Kadecki, the Cole, the Kate Cotton, Kate Otten, Cole Kef. Kyle Trask. He gonna get a lot of snaps. I told y'all. Now boy, I can't wait. Look, and I don't want to hear this. Every incompletion he has, oh, I told you. And then if he completes balls, keep that same energy. Get a man a chance. Come on, Seminole fans and Hurricane fans and USF Bull fans, give the Gator man a chance, because y'all did it to Winston, right? For some strange reason, I really believe when Winston was here, a lot of University of Florida, a lot of Hurricane fans was like, F you, whatever, da. Now that Kyle Trask, a former Florida Gator quarterback, a lot of FSU fans and Hurricane fans, oh man, whatever. Just some eyes herb. Because the same thing's happening again with Kyle Trask. People not getting behind him. causing all out arguments and all out wars internally within the fan base. Same thing happened with Winston. I mean, you had anti-Winston and you had pro-Winston. Pick a side, but I didn't pick no side. I stayed kind of neutral because I saw it on both angles. Same thing with Cal. Now I'm a Gator fan all day, so I'm a back Cal trash, right? Because I'm a Gator guy, right? But I do understand that don't get caught up in the anti-Cal trash and pro-Cal trash war, because it's a war right now. It's an all-out war. There's some powers and sea bandits killing him, which is understandable. Then there's also some powers and sea bandits like, yo, man, he's straight, man. Y'all tripping. But see how BucosLocker at it? I can see from both angles. I'm in the middle, like devil's advocate, right? I can look at it, but I can look at it from a he's not playing well perspective, and I can also look at it from he's playing well, but he can play better if he gets a little bit more. So I see it from both angles. I don't like to pick sides like that because it causes friction, and on my channel I don't like to do that. I like to try to play neutral as possible when it comes to those this side versus this side. Because a lot of this to me it's for discussion. It's up for discussion. It's up for agree to disagree. And not to really to pick a side. It's just discussion topics, right? And sometimes people get too caught up into that, and they let the emotions get the best of them, and then the conversations become more non-productive and harder to do to conduct. That's why on my channel, why haven't you seen a lot of arguments on my channel? Because I don't really like to play that game, because it takes away from the originality and the flavor of the channels. A lot of channels go have these big, huge arguments. I'm like, whoa, ugly. And you don't want that either. You don't want that on your channel. You don't want that staying on your channel having a big, huge argument. And I even touched that on that like some years ago. We had an issue with another. Those of you who remember, y'all know who it was. He had an issue with our channel, with me and Travis. Probably particularly me because how I talk, but came on to the channel and you haven't seen him since, because that brought toxic energy. And it was almost like it was on purpose to get attention because my channel was doing good. That channel wasn't good. And I saw that and I caught it real quick. So I didn't dive back into that feud. And that's why I don't feud with other channels. So that's unproductive. We all in the same boat. All the other Bucs channels keep doing your thing. Y'all over there doing what you do. Shouts out to all you. But I'm over here doing my thing. You know what I'm saying? You do what you do, what I do. But we all on the same boat. On the same we all got the same goals. Super Bowl of Bucs, right? So anyway, I think I covered everything for right now. And then tomorrow, of course, we got the locker room talk, open discussion for tomorrow, and we get y'all thoughts on this week's joint practice and the Tom Brady situation, the Ryan Jansen and Russell Gage hamstring, Mike Evans hamstring, Chris Godwin situation. You know what I'm saying? The Aaron Stinney, Luka Decky situation, K. Otten looking out there looking good. You know what I'm saying? Rashad White. We could talk about the preview for the Dolphins and Bucs game this Saturday. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot we're going to talk about tomorrow. So for the locker room talk, I'm probably going to start that a little early. Probably around about 3:30, 4 o'clock. So, because I got some things to do later on tomorrow. So 3:30, 4 o'clock time frame. We'll see. But just keep your alerts on, your notifications on around that time. And be checking. But anyway, that's it. Oh yeah. I knew I forgot something. So I went out to the Saints practice today to do some undercover research. It was more of a walkthrough thing. It was a walkthrough thing. They didn't really, do nothing, but I just was out there, just, scoping around, seeing what they doing, what formations they doing, and all that stuff like that. They're more a traditional formation team with Carmichael. The Bucs, we more of an open, spread out, throw the ball around. They have a different approach. They do have, like I said, they do have receivers, man. Like, I don't really have too much to say because it's almost like what I said Tuesday. Oh no, Monday. I'm sorry, Monday. Don't sleep on them. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm gonna say real on that situation. Don't sleep on them boys. Um, I was watching their 7-on-7s, their receivers versus their secondary. It's gonna be a fascinating matchup. The Bucs receivers versus the Saints secondary. The boys deep over there. I saw it live. All of them play good. I was watching their 7-on-7s. Olave, Thomas, Landry, Jawan Johnson, Callaway, Hardy, you know, Kamara, all in the passing game, trying to catch balls against the first team defense or the first team secondary and linebackers. DeMario, Pete Warner, you know, it was tough. Michael Thomas was struggling to get open, passing out. Debo was D'ing him. I'm like, they secondary good. Secondary 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 good, man. Don't underestimate them. Now, if you want to call them trash and they not good, they overrated and all that, that's cool. But when you peel that emotion back, and then when you look at the tape, what you're telling yourself is cool, and that's just you being a Bucs fan. I respect that. I'm a Bucs fan all day because I don't like them. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta pay attention to what they're doing because first of all, they're in our division, so we really got to pay attention to our division foes: Falcons, Falcons, Carolina Kitty Cats, and obviously the Saints, because you got to win the division first. So luckily, I live in a city that one of our foes play in, and I can go see what they're doing. I can come back and report to you guys on what they got going on and how they look. And based on what I've seen in 2 practices, don't sleep on them. Specifically, the secondary defense. Don't sleep on the Saints defense. Offensively, we don't really know, but they did upgrade their receivers. They did. Basically, you could say Thomas is up. Thomas coming back, but Thomas is number 1, Landry 2, Olave 3. So none of them played last year. So that's an upgrade. They won't look like last season, if that makes sense. That offense won't look like last year's offense. They what, number 32 in passing. I can say that. I can tell you that right now, based on what I've seen in the 2 practices. That passing offense won't be ranked 32. No can do. Hall of Notes. I can't go for that. Like, if you think the Saints passing offense gonna be ranked 32 this season with Thomas and Olave and Landry, and as a Bucs fan, and they trash, they can't throw the ball on us, and they gonna be this and they gonna be that. That's cool. I'm with you, but I also understand that ain't gonna be the same passing offense that we saw last year. Last year, when we lost in New Orleans 37, Trevor Simmons was throwing that thing around. And now they got Thomas and Olave and Landry. 1, 2, and 3. Whole new set, basically. Well, not Thomas, not new, but you get what I'm saying. And then everybody on defense basically came back. The defense that was already top 10. What, number 4 in scoring defense, they all came back. And they added, well, not all, but they lost Marcus Williams, but they added the Honey Badger and Marcus May. Paulson Abadiba looked like he made a second-year jump. All I'm saying is it's going to be a fascinating matchup. Bucs receivers versus Saints secondary. Bucs offense versus Saints defense. It's going to be a fascinating matchup early in the season. Week number 2. And I'm going to be there live for you guys, reporting what I see. And I hope we win that game. I really do. Because I don't want to walk out of that stadium. Because last year they talked so much crap to me. Because I represent Tampa here in New Orleans. I represent my team, but I don't disrespect the other team. See what I'm saying? I represent the Bucs all day in New Orleans. I got Bucs gear. I walk around in it. I go to stores in it. I go to I went to the football game. I go to I'm here. I'm representing not many Bucs fans here. I'm one of the few. But I also don't be disrespectful. I'm not a disrespectful person. I'm not walking around here just talking all kind of nonsense to Saints fans. I didn't go out there to the practice being reckless with my mouth. I was quiet in the corner, low key. Give respect. Unless you see, unless you're shown otherwise. Because if somebody disrespect me in New Orleans about the Bucs, I'm going to bite back. I don't know if y'all remember a video. I think it was the Bucs versus the Patriots. I was at the bar watching it, and a dude was talking noise to me, and I was doing a live video. The dude was talking noise to me. I don't know if y'all remember that. The dude was talking noise to me, and I bucked back, and he was like, "Oh, I'm just messing with you, man." I don't know if y'all remember that video. I think it was the Patriots game. I forgot what game it was, but he was talking noise, and I wasn't having it because he was talking reckless. And I was like, "Oh no, but this I'm not the Bucs fan to do that to." That's one thing about me. I am not the Bucs fan you just gonna run your mouth to. When I go to these football games this season and in previous years, nobody really bothers me like that. But they know, they can tell the energy that I give off. I'm not one of them Bucs fans that you could just run your mouth to, because I don't come off disrespectful. So you just can't run your mouth at me if I'm not being disrespectful. So they tread water when they see me, because even if they don't know who I am or they don't know me, they can tell like, oh, he cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. He ain't on that. He ain't on that type of energy. But I can go there, and I might have to go there a few times in Dallas, because the Cowboys fans, they extra, and they can be disrespectful too. So I'm get crunk a little bit in Dallas and maybe in New Orleans, but we're gonna see. I try to conduct myself as a professional, right? But anyway, enough about me and how I be acting. But yeah, I'm a cool guy, man. And those of you that have met me in person, y'all know me. If you met me in person, you talk to me in person, because online can be a little difficult, a little different. You can talk to somebody online, video chatting with somebody online, whatever. That's basically what you're doing, and then when you meet him in person, the energy can be different, right? You're like, oh, he's real cool online, but in person, he's a little awkward, a little funny acting. You know what I'm saying? Because people use social media as an image or a facade to hide who they really is. But if those of you that have met me in person, you tell them how I am in person versus online. Am I the same dude on the internet as in real life? I'm the same in real life that I am on the internet. Shouts out to the Swamp Town, URL Battle Rap. I'm the same in real life as I'm on the internet. Get your dinner set. But yeah, y'all know who I am if y'all met me. I'm cool, man. And hopefully I can meet some more people this year, as far as Bucs fans, people that follow the channel, Pirates of Sea Bandits, Be nice to meet y'all in person as I make my trips around these cities with these away games and these home games. So anyway, enough of that. Handshaker, rumble pack. Anyway, that's my wrap up on today's video. But shouts out to everybody. Thank y'all for joining this live stream. I appreciate it. Tomorrow we're gonna have some fun with the discussion, man. You know what I'm saying? So shouts out to all the Pirates of Sea Bandits. You know what I'm saying? I really do appreciate y'all joining the live stream, following the channel, support the channel, share the videos, like the videos, subscribe to the channel. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? It's all good, baby. And make sure you show up to the locker room talk on Fridays. You know what I'm saying? We can talk about football, whether it's or even your team, if you're not a Bucs fan. But anyway, fire those cannons, seize the day, raise the flag, and I'm gonna keep it short. Hashtag no risky, no biscuit. Hashtag facts over feelings. Hashtag Super Bowl of Butts. See y'all tomorrow.